Good afternoon, lads. I'm Symmetry, and today's date is the 21st of March 2020. We just came off of the back of the developer diary for Title Update 5, and among the introduction of Raging Brachydios and Furious Rajang, as well as some fishy-looking dual blades, we got a sneak peek at our returning fan favourite for the April update. It's going to be none other than the blazing black dragon itself, Alatreon. I won't waste your time here, so let's get acquainted with our new world ender here. Alatreon, or Arubatorian in Japanese, is unsurprisingly an elder dragon, introduced in Monster Hunter Tri as the final online large monster before unlocking the last tier of quests. Typically inhabiting volcanic regions such as the Sacred Land and Ingle Isle, it shares movement reminiscent of Kushala Daora. As expected for a living natural disaster, it is classified on the same tier as other such enemies as Dire Moralis and the Fatalis triplets. The main selling point of Alatreon is the possession it has over multiple elements. The blazing black dragon is touted as being elementally unstable, demonstrating command of all but water. For the less well-read of you, that means you'll have to accommodate for fire, dragon, ice, and thunder attacks when facing it. I know what you're thinking, and no, I absolutely refuse to make an Avatar joke here. This leads me into what we can expect from the fight and the gear. Please bear in mind that 5th Gen has brought about a ton of changes, for better or worse when it comes to returning monsters, so much like my look at Stygian, this isn't going to be completely accurate. Regarding the elements, Alatreon is not in complete control of them, and as such can only utilise 2 at any one time, switching between a terrestrial mode and a flight mode. You'll typically see thunder and ice when it's airborne, and fire and dragon when it's grounded. This dragon was known for its speed in its first appearance, utilising quick forward slams and wide-reaching charges, all whilst imbibing itself with its element of choice. Once enough power has been stored in its horns, our jack-of-all-trades here will take to the skies and begin an aerial onslaught. Typically damage is all but inaccessible here, however throughout the generations hunters had various options to keep it grounded. In Tri and Portable Third, hunters could use flash bombs, and 3U gave us a ballista binder in the Sacred Land that could ensnare your enemy and send it crashing back to Earth. In Generations, we returned to the flashbang method, however this would only work when Alatreon was not enraged. A quick Farcast stall, though, would ground it. Make no bones about it, Alatreon was difficult, for reasons I will explain later, however just know that we have our work cut out for April. Onto the gear. What's the legacy of the Brilliant Darkness here? As a complete shock to no one, the Escadora armour came with a multitude of element-related skills, such as Blight Resistant and the compound skill of Element Attack Up, as well as Evade Extender, and the weapons were Dragon Element. In Tri, Alatreon had the distinction, alongside Deviljho, of granting Purple Sharpness in high rank. In Iceborne, I would say that we can expect High Sharpness and High Dragon at the very least. So, as literally one person probably asked, what do I reckon? I'm skeptical. Alatreon, whilst a decent concept, has always been an absolute arse to fight, and that's thanks to the hit zones being complete garbage aside from the head, a hit zone that is conveniently located somewhere in orbit above the Earth. Clutch Claw can give us a new dimension to this, and we'll definitely have to practice head sniping, but there's a lot of work that will need to be done to avoid Alatreon becoming an oversized Kushala with an identity crisis. Taking a look at the gear, there's stiff competition for the weapons and armour. Dragon is an incredibly saturated weapon pool that will need some extreme changes to see any real difference, especially considering the existence of Safi Jiva. As well as this, the utility of Dragon is questionable, as you'll really only run this on non-metallic Wrath family members and Ruin and Gigante. On the other hand, if they take into account the whole multiple element concept, that would be a whole new can of worms that I would just love to see. The armour also faces competition from our local siege monster, if it retains its element focus, but perhaps more options for true elemental acceleration or even the broad element attack up could boost our Safi weapons even further. More is to be revealed, I'm sure, but that's your introduction to Alatreon. What did you think? Are you happy, cautious, excited? Do you have any questions? Let me know in those comments or on my Twitch or Twitter. Thanks for the teaser, Capcom. Now can we please get some new monsters?